Let's go into a little bit of history before we go to the main thing, which is how to actually use this entire building. I have been using this application, this specific editing software for videos for over 10 years now, and the main reason why I'm using it now is because I have been using it and I'm too lazy to learn another software. It's not that great of a software, but back in the day it was a choice between this and Movie Maker, Microsoft Movie Maker. This was clearly the superior choice. Nowadays it probably isn't, but I recommend learning something else to use than this application. It's quite. Let me tell you about the disadvantages of using this specific software. First one is the crashes. It tends to crash a lot, especially if you're using external codecs, which it is using by default. It's hard to import things into it because by default it supports by default. If notwithstanding the system installed codecs, it supports pretty much next to none input formats, including its own. In the past it was known as Sony Vegas Studio Pro. Nowadays it's Magix Vegas Studio Pro. And when it was still Sony Vegas Studio Pro, it didn't support a lot of the other codecs and a lot of codecs and containers that other hardware was using to record. For example, the camcorders, cameras, Sony cameras and such couldn't be by default imported into the Sony Vegas Studio Pro, which kinda sucks. And so importing something here into this can be hard, and as far as I know, there isn't a single decent output option for rendering. What I'm actually doing is that instead of rendering stuff in rendering the finalized version of videos in Vegas Pro, I'm serving the frames to Handbrake, which then does it. Afterwards, I'm rendering just the audio, which I am rendering in Vegas Pro, and using FFmpeg, I'm combining them into one file. To understand a lot of what I'm going to say in this video, you need to watch the previous videos about pretty much everything. This is the great culmination of all of those videos that I did previously. It tends to crash a lot, there is a lot of bad stuff. The recent versions are just Windows 10 only, I think. The debug mode frame server is no longer free. The only good thing about the newer versions that I have is that the noise reduction plugin is now for free, and I think it's now available as part. Not for free, but as a part of the entire thing. I have Vegas Pro 15. The newest version is like 17 or 18 or 19 or 20, I don't know. I've started with like 6 or 5 or something. Then I got the 8, then I got the 15. Then I got the 11, then I got the 15. And I've been using the same project to render stuff and do stuff from that I just branch out of when I need to. So without further ado, let's take a view at right now. If you have never seen this software before, this must be quite confusing to you. Yeah, it is. So let's take a brief overview what every part of the screen does. First, everything here can be modified. You can move everything, every part of the window. I don't want to because this is how I do stuff. I have there are in view. You can go to window layouts, and I have 3 one that these two actually should be one, but it glitched up for some reason. And this is my editing layout, and I also have a rendering layout. If I were to use it, it removes all the side stuff that just isn't ideal while you are rendering. There is a lot of memory leakage, which means there is a lot of crashing, random crashes and such. Rendering videos can be slower depending what screens you have open. Somebody on the internet said that if you have the not project media, I think I have actually disabled a window that was just file explorer, I think it was named, that had gross memory leakages if it was open while rendering, so I've just closed it because I was never using it anyway. But you can actually drag things and dock them. I think if you can, I can show it. Let's try dragging it up. Let's try again. Oh no, I have it as a window. Oh, I have it as a window. Project media. Let's hold Control, and it should be able to be snapped to some part. So I can snap it, for example, here, and then erase it, and I have it on. I have it like this. So you can basically change how everything looks to whatever you prefer, which is a big thing. Let's reload the selected layout, which will revert the changes I just did. So this is how I have it currently. At first, let's go from left to right. Or should we mention the? Should we mention? No, let's not mention those yet. Here we have the media generators. You can generate various kinds of media. I'm mostly using legacy text to generate all the text I want. I can show you how that works once I find some free space here on the timeline. This is the timeline, by the way. Yay! Probably shouldn't do this right now, but some free space I have over here. Here we have a cool thing. Let's use a cool thing. Wait, I'm just going to put it here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if it's not going to crash. It almost did. For some retarded reason, it looks absolutely retarded. I don't know why. Las Vegas, you don't know. And we have some basic editing window where we like this is this. Yay! If you don't end the line and keep making a long line that goes way too far beyond the preview and the resolution, it will cause such a serious memory leakage that it will crash the software. I've also found this one myself, unfortunately. Also, if you use a picture that's too big, it will appear as pure red, and if you try to work with such picture, it will also crash the entire software. Because why not? We have the placement, we can just move it along. This is the preview screen that shows us what it should be working, what it should look like. What I meant to say. And oh, that's probably the reason I have the lowest quality. So if I turn into best and full, it should look a bit better. Yeah, this is looking a bit better. Yeah. This is just the preview quality, by the way. I'm not going into detail for this yet. I'm just showing up selecting, creating a media. We can support its properties. You can play with it here. You can play with the colors. Well, that's ugly. Oh my! Okay, that hurt. That hurt my eyes. You can edit whatever you want. You can add a feather with a bigger width. You can play with this any shape, way, or form you would like. Okay, please do that. I've created this text for some reason. You can just play with this to make whatever you want to, and then you can also save this as a preset. So This is the cool preset. If I were to write something like this and save it, it will know now. Yeah, or at least it should appear here. Let's reload. Yeah, reload please. Ah, it now appeared here. Unfortunately, the checkboard design means it's transparent. I didn't. I set it to black background, which is something I presumably don't want to. Properties, text color, background color. I want this to be transparent. If I were to save it now, it should now appear here with the checkboard design, which means it's transparent. So you can overlay this over a video or something. You can also animate it. That's something we are going to do later. I'm going to animate stuff. Is the video media generators? I'm usually have it docked by default. I think it's opening in a standalone window. You can just play with this, create your own designs and everything for the media generation. This is how you can also then animate it, make it scroll and such. But that's it for now. Yeah. Let's close this one. Let's close this thing up. Please close. And let's delete this preset. If I can. Notice it doesn't seem to be deletable. I cannot right click. Please delete. I want to delete this. No, no. I'm stuck with it forever now. I guess. I think this button deletes it. Not sure. I'm not usually deleting my presets. Could I please delete this? Delete preset. Did it work? Yeah, it did delete it without asking me for confirmation. That's kinda. What was that sound? Well, that's the first part. Shouldn't my shortcut for starting a recording does things, and besides, you really need to know shortcuts to use Sony Vegas. Unfortunately, that's something you are not going to go around easily. This is the first part here for the media generators. We have video effects, which are effects we can apply to videos. There is a wide range of effects. You can see some sort of an easy preview. You can cut a part of the video, etc, etc. You can make it glow, glint. Glint was quite a glitch in this version. There is a map of gradients. But let's show at least one thing that I tend to like to lose. Race, border race, what was them? Green glow. Those might be the ones I want. Let's check them up. Or was it something else? This might be. Let's check them up. Nope, these are the wrong race. I don't want these. Or do I? Oh my god. Could animate this. These aren't the race that I'm looking for, unfortunately. Here we can see we have a default pan and crop, which we can pan on or crop a video, and we can actually remove these in some way or another. This button, remove selected plugin. Yeah, let's remove race. We don't have to. We will check out how to. I will show you how to crop things afterwards. There was something. Light race. So not race. Light race. Those are the ones that I wanted to show you for an example. On the timeline, we can put various things. We have video tracks. We have audio tracks. That's as far as I'm going to go into it for now. Let's do intense light race. Put it onto this, and suddenly we can make an intro for Superman, a Superman movie with this. Does look kinda awesome actually. This kind of text with the light rays does look kinda awesome. It doesn't look bad at all. But I've deleted that preset, right? Here we can select the light source, so you have a wide variety of options. You can just play with it. This is from where the light shines. And it's also possible to animate stuff. You can also select the sensitivity. The strength is set to maximum sensitivity. I don't even remember what that does. Which one does it better? I don't care. Bound radius, what is that thing? Oh, it makes it that it works just with a radius around the source point. We don't want to that for that. There's noise and blend and all the other options. You can also select the color for the light rays. We can make them yellow, we can make them blue, we can make them red, we can go insane, we can make them black. Fuck out the default. You can also use the pipette tool, pick a color from the screen to pick up a color from anywhere in the screen. And let's animate this thing. There is, as we can see, there is an animate button down here. Let's click it. Now we have the timeline, and we have a single point. This is the default starting point, which is the one we have set up like this. And if we were to double click anywhere else to create another one, we can set, for example, a different source point for the light. Let's put it towards the right, and it makes it like this. And everything in between is calculated by the application. So now if we go for the left, it's like the original. Let's make this small so you can actually see what's going on. Like this, fine. So the original one is in the middle. This, the light goes from here. And it will gradually move towards the right, towards the point that we made in the right part. And it's now here. So we have animated it. And we can make another point in the middle that will go down. So which means that this is in the middle and it's going to go down first to meet this point, which is at the light point here, and then it's going to go up and towards the right to find this point. You can animate stuff like this. There is a wide variety of buttons to do things. I don't remember any of this. I just figure it out on the fly for the most part. My brain is not capable of remembering so much stuff, so I just figure it out on the fly. And we can of course save any of this, and it's going to be saved here, so we can then reuse it and such. We can also combine and stack as much effects as we want and animate as much effects as we want. So now if I'm going to go, I could hit play, but it's not going to be fast. I'm going to need to set the video preview quality to draft quarter for that to work. This is how it this is not the final how the final render is going to work. This is just the extremely low quality of the preview, making it look like this. Let's try playing. It's still, as you can see from these numbers, it's extremely slow. Doesn't quite work, at least for me. I have a quite a decent computer and still it doesn't work as it should. So it got down. I don't think we are going to get anywhere with this. I'm better off just clicking through it like this. Let's go back to best and full, which is how it's going to look like. So this is this part. Let's check out the transitions. The transitions, as you can see from these previews, it's the way one clip transitions to another. We can edit it to a great extent. I'm going to show that in a while. We have the preview screen where we have the quality, we have the split screen, we don't care about that. Preview external monitor, I don't have an external monitor that I could use. Save areas, you can do a lot of things, but you need to pretty much Google or find specific tutorials on what you want to do. This is the range, of course. You either have the PC or the studio range, of course, or the TV. That's in the one of the previous videos. I've mentioned it in the color spaces in the basic knowledge video. We can save a snapshot of this preview to a file. This sucks, and it sucks for a very interesting reason. If you do this, it automatically also adds the screenshot to the project into the project media, which is something I actually forgot to talk about. It saves it here, and here you have the project media, which is the media that's a part of the project. How hard was that to figure out? And if we were to save the snapshot like this, it would be added to here, and you could not manipulate it outside of the project. What that means, you could not edit it, for example, with Windows Paint or GIMP or Photoshop, and you wouldn't also be able to delete it. You would have to remove it from here first. So that's why this button sucks. We can this is my project that I use for stuff. We are going to make a new one in a moment. Once I show you what the various parts of the screen actually are. So this is the project media. We have the various transitions with various styles. You can see which is the A clip and B clip. The A is the one that's ending, and the B that's in the opening or starting part. I'm going to show you that in a bit. I'm also going to show you this bit. This is the master bus for the audio. If I were to play something, I presume you won't hear any of this. Actually, I'm on best for so the software will now crash in a few minutes, because those are M2 videos. No, those are H264. It will probably crash anyway. And if I start playing it while recording, you can see the audio here on the right side, and how loud it is, and how loud it should be. I have this quite at here, which it will try to move whatever is lower to this value a bit, and the other way around. If it's something that's higher, it will start to roll it down. If you go beyond a certain threshold, which will be shown in red, it will start to clip the peaks of the audio, seriously damaging the audio pretty much without a way to fix that. So that's, you don't want to have audio that it's too loud that it goes to I don't know, a resonance frequency, and that's just bad juju. Output project audio properties, down mix output. Nah, I just want to show you how I have this selected. That doesn't quite the compass frequency. Start with these settings. Nope. Master solo, mute, automation settings, speakers. Oh, those actually are Vytékání high definition, so you should be able to hear. Really, I should have selected a different one. And master FX. The master FX for any output from Sony Vegas, I have set up this limit systems to -6 decibel hard limiter. This is what I have set up. Threshold is -6. Direct release, smooth saturation. You can play with this, but that's something you need to pretty much figure out once and then forget for years. So I don't really care about this. It's just about playing with it. I think for this I found out certain tutorial how to set this properly to work with my microphones and setups. I did that years ago and didn't have to touch it since. That's this part, and this part that's the timeline. I had to use a bonbon because my throat is now hurting from recording several of these videos in a row. Yeah, we have the timeline, and the timeline is comprised of tracks. I have a lot of tracks, as you can see. The tracks can have names. For example, this was my track for stream chat, which have special special effects to make stream chat look good. This was used in the GUI LP. These are the video tracks. So I can, for example, use layered text over each other, or you have an icon, like some things I sometimes do. To have an icon, I can actually show you that. Why not? Let's show you that. Let's go here. Info, nope. Let's go here. Icon key. Please find icon key. Intra, info, icon key. Okay. Let's take one of my icons with a transparent background. Should be one of these. Fantasy name. Is it the sci-fi name? Yeah, correct. Let's put it over there. And this is how you add things to the project. You just drag and drop pretty much. Going to drag and drop it here. I now have a icon. I can just drag this like this. Because this is just an image, I don't have to do, I can just freely drag and drop the length and duration like this. And I have this over. This is something I do not. Let's check out the media generators and add some text over it. Whoop. Let's wait a moment. Nah, it's not responding now. Finally, it appeared. And now we should have text over it. So here we have text over an icon, with the icon being over the footage. Now, let's check out how to crop. Video event pen and crop. We can add effects. Red noise reduction is something I have never used. Media effects. You can do a lot of things, and a lot of it is just about figuring stuff out. Let's crop it. Cropping it means we can move it around and animate it and edit just a part of it. What could we do with this? Let's check. First off, we could remove this part here. To do that, we would need to use a mask. So I'm going to select, there is position and mask. Those are two timelines. We can see the point of their effect right here. So I'm going to select the mask. I'm going to apply a mask if it's going to allow me. Come on. It's finally done. Now I need to remember how to do this. I always need to anchor creation tool, I believe it was. I'm going to do anchors. 1, 2, 3, 4, and connect. Now you can see I have, in a very bad way, edited out this part by using the mask. That's what the mask does. You can also invert the mask. There is a button for it somewhere or something. Reset mask, deserialize, initialize, blah blah blah, flip, duplicate. You can also move those. That's a bit harder. Yeah, because if I just start moving it, it just starts doing this stuff. So I'm going to use Ctrl Z to go back how it was. Wait for it to actually do it because it's slow. I think I need this tool to be able, once it actually starts working again, to grab it. That was always a problem, to find a way just to grab it and move it. Nope, it doesn't work. Fine. There was a way to move those anchor points for the mask. You should find a tutorial for the mask in this instead of using this video. It's completely going haywire now. I always forget and I always have to figure it out again. Rectangle, square, mask creation tool. You can just make it a square. It might be better actually. Let's see what happens if I do it like this. It gets combined, right? Yeah. You can play with this. Let's not use the mask. Let's change the position. No, changing the position. I said let's not use the mask. I'm going to double click at it and going to wait for like half an hour, and it finally. Notice that we have made another point in the spot where are we in the video. So to apply these settings what we have done, but we had here before, we would have to delete this point. So for this point to apply to the entire video. Otherwise that would be an animation from this point to this one, so the mask would be the full thing and it would gradually cut out this part if we were to have it as we had in a moment ago and at both points here. But we just disabled the mask, so it no longer matters. But I can show it at the position at least. Let's show it up. I've double clicked and now I'm waiting it for make a point in the position timeline. It's going to crash pretty soon, by the way. My throat is killing me. I still have so much things to talk about. So this is the F. I don't know why there is an F here. Why is it called that? But we want it to match the output aspect ratio, which means the video how is it going to look like in the no, this represents the video itself. So for example, to fit this in the left or right corner, we would have to make this big because we want to have the symbol small. This represents basically our video viewport, or how we look at the video. Let's move it here so it's in the right corner, like this. That's too much. That's too much. Make abort. A little bit more towards the right. And now we have it in the right upper right corner of the video itself. But that's at this point, and towards the end of towards the entirety of the video that goes afterwards, but not before, because we have this point that has the original aspect ratio, which means, as you can see, it's in the middle, and if we were to click through the timeline between these 2 points, it would be animated. So it would gradually become smaller and smaller and move towards the right upper point. Like this. Let's wait for a moment. Let's click again and wait for a moment. We can see it moving. You cannot see it moving in the real time. It can be really smooth. It depends on the frame rate set for the project. The bigger frame rate, the more smooth. So Sony, well, not Sony, Magix Vegas Studio Pro will make it. But because it's so, I don't know, hard for the preview to render anything. So we made an animated icon that appears in the middle of the screen and big and goes smaller and towards the upper right corner of the screen. Yay. By the way, you can go beyond a little bit. You can also lock aspect ratio, so it won't be I'm going to show you what happens if I use this. Nothing? That's weird. Well, now if I make the, let's call it the video viewport smaller or bigger, I can stretch the image of the icon. Please. It should be stretching. It's not stretching, but it's set not to lock the aspect ratio. Oh yeah, I need to size above center, move freely. Yeah, I don't remember why. I need to right click on here, go to switches, and there is this checkbox, maintain aspect ratio. If you want to stretch it, this must be unchecked. Let's uncheck it, and it's not stretched because we have changed the viewport ratio to the image. We could also make it smaller by doing this, and now it's like this. It's like somebody stepped on the sign. You can make an animation on something stepping on your sign or something like that. Why not? You can also, where is there was a way to rotate this thing, but I don't remember how that was done. It's not something yeah, you need to select the ring around it. Now you can rotate it. You could even make now we have an animation, or we could make an animation if we put various points here with various rotational points. We could make it animate and go around in glorious squished form. Going around. You can just play with this a lot. It's a lot of figuring out. I figured out most of this for myself. So this is a basic cropping tutorial how to do stuff. Now, what I probably should have done first was to show you how to make a new project, which is selecting new here. Unfortunately, do I want to save anything? No. Go on. It's not responding anymore. Here I can just send up, this is my default template for making a new project, 4K. This is the resolution, pixel aspect ratio, important and keep it a square. This is the pixel aspect ratio, not the resolution aspect ratio. Frame rate. The maximum is 59 by default, but you can put 60 if you want to. Or, in certain cases, you want to have even more than that. There are limits. Basically, the 4K is a limit for this version of Vegas Pro. Newer versions do support bigger resolution. And the rest of it is how I usually have it set up. The pixel format, video levels for range. This is used if you want to have HDR, I think. The Gaussian motion blur, ideally you don't want to have a motion blur. And you do that by disabling resampling. This is the best thing you can have to disable resample. This means no ghosting. Resampling is what happens if the output frame rate is different than the media file that you are rendering. It will try to resample it. It's called smart resampling, but it sucks. It's really bad. It makes the video size blow up and the quality becomes horrible. So you don't want to resample. So hit resample, and then this field I presume doesn't really matter anymore because that's not going to happen. For resolution rendering quality best. This is also something else I should talk about. There is some sort of folder. These are my settings that I use for new, but usually I have like one project that I branch off by using save as and saving as a new project, which makes so I basically don't have to go through this. 38 kilohertz, 24-bit depth, and nothing much else. There is a ruler. Beats per measure, time and frames, quarter, summary, audio CD. I could start a new project, but I don't really want to, so I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to reopen this project. I have a lot of projects, as you can see. No, I don't want to save, I want to reload it. Actually, I should probably exit the entire application and reopen again because it's going to crash soon. It's not responding currently, yeah. And this happens, it usually crashes a lot. Because some of the files that are on the timeline and on the media, project media, are no longer available, it's going to use this, but disappeared because it's now in the background, I presume. Ah, it's now in the foreground, or I clicked somewhere. I can just ignore them. That's because I have deleted them because they were already rendered. And let's start editing up a video with some basic things how to do and some basic shortcuts. That I didn't talk about too much were the tracks. That lever here means transparency, or transparency, you know, opacity, which means how transparent or not transparent the track is. Which means, let's put it this way, I use the text, wait a moment before it appears. I'm holding my mouse button, by the way. That's something you have to do if... No, it might have finally crashed. Ah, no, it did appear eventually. I need to hold my mouse button until this white rectangle appears. Otherwise, it can lead to unexpected behavior. So we have a text over here. And with this, we can set up, it's by default at 100% opacity. We can put it at half, which will make it partially transparent. Or we can even make it fully transparent. We can play with this like this. This audio track is color corrected. It has stronger colors. As you can see in the video, it's hard to figure out a proper color correction plugin settings. At first, if you are going to color correct, you're going to make the mistake of making it too strong. If you make it too strong, you're going to lose quality. Because if you make colors too strong, they're going to hit a ceiling of what of the color values, which means that if there is a color that's near the ceiling and another color that's less than the previous color but also near the ceiling, and you're going to raise the color values, they're both going to hit the ceiling and the edge between them will disappear, which means you will lose shapes and such, and you will lose quality. So figuring out how to set color correction properly isn't not fun. Let's check it out. I have to click here, track FX, I believe it was. I have a few of these as presets. Everything can have a preset pretty much. This is my color corrections. I have test template, Nox to Vision, Snad zachovaná světlost, silně snížené. This is my very, that erases colors, very written, removes basically a bit of gray, I would say. This is how I have it set up. You can take a look if you want to and set it up in the exact same way if you want to. It took me years to figure this out. There are custom. Yeah, there is a custom screen. This is my setup for that. And then I have levels, which I don't think I set up any differently for this. Yeah, there is pretty much nothing else here for levels, video levels. Let me close this up and show you the difference between those. If I move this toward into the by drag and drop, I can move it into another track. Let's put it into a track that doesn't have the color correction, so we can see the difference. You can now see when I record there is a bit of what I would say looks like a gray overlay that I'm using the color correction to remove. Let's move it back to see the difference once again. You can see how it looks now. I like this a bit better for the video itself. Let's check out a few screens. I could also move this down, but that makes it crash sooner. This is not a great spot for that, because it's all full of green, not green and yellow something. Yeah, this seems a little bit better for that to show off. Well, what else here? Those are some basics that you need to know. You have audio tracks which can be left, right, and instead of opacity they have the volume in decibels. 0 means this is the change of the original from the original. 0 means it's unchanged. I could set it to -infinity to mute it effectively, or I could raise it.